Just in the nick of time. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Liberty Bowl live stream Friday. What a Friday it is, man! Some major news coming out from SCOTUS today. A whole bunch of stuff going on today. Most people are going to be taking a break for the next pretty much like week or two until January. And so basically, we're going to be right here breaking this news, and everybody else has already gone on vacation, man. So pretty good shit here, man. How you doing today, man? You getting ready for the old Festivus?
Oh yeah, man. A little mini vacay here, just like we spoke on last time, enjoying the Arizona, wintertime. Unfortunately, it's a little rainy today, so you don't want to do much, but good times all around, man. Yourself, dude?
No, yeah, man. I'm enjoying it, man. I'm getting ready for my annual get together with a extended family. The people I don't really see too much. I'm not very active on social media, so it's not like where I'm following what they're doing or they're following what I'm doing and stuff. So it's kind of like the yearly check out what I've done. Look at my family. Look at the look at how I'm doing now. Not such a
Yeah.
fuck anymore. Yeah, pretty good. Looking forward to that. Yeah, we're just going to be heading out to Benson, the usual. We go see my grandpa. It's his birthday on the 25th, actually.
So it's
So
my
he's been.
brothers as well, man.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Is that where you're going to be heading to, or where?
He's in Michigan, so.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Did you say you're heading somewhere though?
No, just with the fam here. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
We were supposed to have a real vacation, but my lady had some surgery issues, so
Yeah.
yeah.
It's crazy. I've only had a real vacation as an adult one time ever in my adult life, and it was going up to Vegas when I was like 23 or something like that. But yeah, other than that, yeah, I ain't done shit. Like other
Gotta
than that,
get out of Arizona a little bit.
oh yeah, for sure, man. It's just obviously the life that I was living before, I wasn't really focused too much on seeing the world and going on adventures and stuff. I was more kind
Yeah.
of living an adventure, so to speak.
For sure.
But anyway, man, so we got a whole bunch of shit going on today. As you guys know, what was it, like 2 days ago or something like that? Colorado officially moved to ban Trump off of the ballot. Of course, as we've already mentioned, that they're basically trying to set precedent, and then we already have other states like California and New York are already trying to follow in suit with their own, I guess, removal of Donald Trump from the ballot. We also got some other states actually moving to basically kind of reverse the whole thing. Basically, some of the state legislatures, I don't remember exactly which states it was at the moment. I'll pull up an article in a little bit, but basically, I know that Arizona is one of them, and one of our state legislatures here, Corey McGar, is basically the person putting his neck out and trying to risk it all, to, I guess, for to an extent make a point, or basically just kind of for once some Republican pushback.
Oh yeah.
We also got Jack Smith has no power whatsoever. He's just a fucking lawyer. Like that's it. That's it.
Private citizen.
Right. Like has as much power as me or you. And he's basically over here, and we're going to get into that a little bit, but basically because of the fact that the media just said it and nobody fucking questioned it. He's been running around wielding all this fucking power and authority, right? And we also got a major decision actually just coming out today from SCOTUS, and basically they've denied Jack Smith's request to basically overstep the whole appeals process and go straight to and have the Supreme Court listen to it right away. Basically, he's trying to in a rare move, the prosecution is moving toward a speedy trial. Obviously for political reasons, seeing as there's something coming up this next year that they really have to make sure that this gets done before that happens, right?
That and the fact that unlike you or I, he's not in jail. You know what I'm saying? If he was locked down, yeah, they'd take their sweet ass time, man.
Oh yeah, they fucking slow walk it out. If I can make sure that you're walking around in the jumpsuit, eating the fucking bread and water and all that shit. That's not what it's really like, to be honest. That's the movie shit. If you want to know what jail's actually like, school. It's like being in school that you can't go home from. Yep. Right. Yeah, man. So fucking major wins going on. And I guess we'll go ahead and start with the big news, man. Fucking so SCOTUS. I don't you had the day off today, so I'm sure you read a bit more into what's going on than I did. But I do have some articles pulled up here if you want to go ahead and start breaking down what's going on with their decision that they went ahead and slapped Jack Smith with upside the head.
Yeah, I mean, they basically broke it down that it's abnormal, and they're not going to acquiesce. That you can't sidestep the legal process in order to push a political end, basically. You know what I mean? And in not so many words, it was just a big, and I think it's boiling up. I think they know that there's going to be repercussions for them. Basically sticking on their laurels, you know what I mean? And once the decision comes down, like you can't bar this guy from running and yada yada. There's going to be serious meltdown and mostly peaceful protest.
Right, fiery, but
Yeah.
mostly peaceful. Right.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff that we're going to be talking about today is really going to be stuff that's going to be weighing into our predictions. I also forgot to mention we're going to be doing today. We're going to be making our predictions for 2024. Of course, it's the end of the year. We're going to basically see what's on the at least make our predictions. Again, we don't actually know. Obviously, nobody actually knows. We're just going to basically look at the evidence. Look at the direction things have been going and make some guesses as to what could possibly happen. I mean, it's really anybody's fucking guess at this point. Like, would you have been able to predict 2023? I don't know.
No, I mean, I thought that they would try to do some shit against Trump, but I had no idea that they would just blatantly break centuries of jurisprudence. No.
Right. It almost feels surreal. Like,
Yeah.
like it's that whole, you never notice when you're living through history, but those of us that, pay attention and that are actually, following this stuff on a daily basis, we are well aware of what's going on right now. And we are well aware of the fact that we're living through a major, historic event in human history, not just American history. I mean, human history. This affects the entire world, to be honest,
Yeah. And it's not only America you're seeing it in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, you're seeing it across the West, man, as a whole. Like you're seeing leaders be prosecuted, like we spoke on before, debanked, yada yada. Current admins trying to figure out legal ways to remove opposing political parties. Jailing. Bolsonaro basically was exiled, and Brazil, for an extended period. I mean, you can just keep going, man.
Right. Yeah, if I could. All right, so let's go ahead and check out this article here from the Washington Examiner. If this will load up. There we go. I think. Yeah. All right. So, Supreme Court dodges decision on Trump presidential immunity claims in 2020 election case. So, the Supreme Court on Friday decided not to intervene in former President Donald Trump's criminal case for now, saying it won't decide a key question of whether he is broadly immune for actions he took challenging the 2020 election. The High Court denied without comment special counsel Jack Smith's request, asking the justice to step over the typical appeals court process and quickly decide the legal questions, which is core to Trump's criminal prosecution in Washington, D.C., over allegations of conspiring to upend President Joe Biden's victory. 81 million votes, guys, most popular president in human history. While the Supreme Court initially agreed on December 11th to expedite briefing over whether to take up the matter, the justices sided with Trump, marking a small but notable victory for the Republican frontrunner, seeking to delay his criminal trial at every juncture. As a result of the court's refusal to intervene, the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit will take up the dispute, which is slated for oral argument on January 9th. Once the court rules, the High Court could act quickly on whether to take up the case. Smith on Thursday said the matter must have immediate examination by the Supreme Court. And he said, quote, the charges here are of the utmost gravity, Smith's office told justices. Quote, the case involves, for the first time in our nation's history, criminal charges against a former president based on his actions while in office. And not just any actions, alleged actions to perpetuate himself in power by frustrating the constitutionally prescribed processes for certifying the lawful winner of an election. Trump's lawyers argued in court papers that Jack Smith had given no compelling reasons why the justices would immediately circumvent the appeals court review. Their dispute stems from U.S. District Court's Tanya Chitkin rejecting Trump's bid to dismiss the indictment on presidential immunity and constitutional grounds. The case is effectively on hold while Trump appeals the decision. Yeah, so we'll just go and cut it off right there. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sure
so
there's
that's where the big fuck you comes by not expediting that. They're going to have to go through the appeals process, and unless they have somebody that's on the dole there waiting for it, it's going to take some while. It's not going to happen in time,
right.
and and then it's obvious who's leading across this fucking country politically, and I mean, and the people that were still saying, well, if DeSantis takes second. I don't know if you've seen DeSantis just canceled the rest of his
Yep.
campaigning in Iowa, New Hampshire. I mean, it's a wrap, man. It's a
Oh
wrap.
yeah, it's done,
Mm-hmm.
dude. Trump 2024, bro. Never fucking surrender, dude. Never
Yeah.
back down. Fucking Goonies never
MAGA.
say die, bro. Right. Fucking the dude fucking of course there's still what 11 months until the election, a whole another year and a month or so, another 13 months until the actual inauguration. So a lot can happen in between now and then. So I mean don't start, popping bottles and celebrating, just yet. But you know, just do acknowledge that this really is a win in the fight, for Donald Trump. This basically, like you mentioned, it's going to force them to go through the appeals court, and then once that gets done, then they just go through the next appeals court and the next one all the way up until they get to the Supreme Court. By then, it'll be far past the 2024 election, and you know, like you said, Trump is clearly the front runner in every single poll out there right now, which of course he never was in any of the previous two elections. And yeah, basically once he wins in 2024, then he's going to basically be able to tell the drop the case. It's done. You guys are fucking done. Matter of fact, we opening up fucking investigations on all you. Open up
Right.
investigations on all you bitches. King
As a
Kong
matter of
ain't got shit on me.
right. As a matter of fact, Garland, you quibbling fucking bowl of jello, you're off, bro. To the
Right.
gulags.
Yep.
No, I mean, obviously, I mean, you got to fight force with force, right? Yada yada. But at the same time, I mean, what do you think? Should he just go, full mode? I mean, just start, imprisoning fools, like for real, like you hear the queues running around here, like there's got to be tribunals. I mean, or do you think, it should just be you're fired, you're fired, you're fired, you're fired, you're fired? You know what I mean?
I think he needs to go hardcore. I think he needs to go focus on the corruption. Like I said, once we get all the fucking corrupt people out of, obviously that's a daunting task. But once we start eliminating corruption, and once we start making corruption, show that it has consequences in our government, a lot of our economic problems, a lot of our cultural problems, a lot of our justice issues that we have, a lot of our inner city issues, crime, all that stuff will work itself out once we get rid of people that are being paid to look the other way. Being a little bit more broad here, but basically what Trump needs to do is get revenge on all the people that perverted our justice system in order to try and attack him and literally who face retribution in the past.
You're going max headroom.
Oh, there we go. You back?
A little bit.
All right, let me see if I could adjust this. Seems like we lost you. I was getting into a pretty good speech there. I don't know how much of that we got, but yeah. All right, you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah. I can hear you the whole
All right.
time, man.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, and then earlier, like at one point, you were cutting out like some Max Headroom, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I lost connection. I lost
Yeah,
connection, and it dropped you out
I
on the feed for a
I could
second.
hear you though when the screens were just switching everything.
Yeah. So anybody that would like to donate to the new computer fund, maybe faster internet fund, go ahead and check the link below. I'm just kidding. You're not going to find any links. I ain't that guy. But yeah, it's my internet sucks. Well, not my internet sucks. My PC sucks. All right. Working on that. That's a 2024 New Year's resolution. I'll get that. I'll definitely get that taken care of for you. Well, for myself and for those that are watching the show. All right. Let me go ahead and I haven't even checked if we're actually live on Rumble. I'm pretty sure we are, but yeah, either way, should probably take a look. But yeah, so I don't know. What's your thoughts on Trump? Does he need to go full dictator mode, or do you think he needs to show some restraint?
I got mixed emotions, man. You know what I mean? I mean, of course, the one side is all liberty, like, we can't let us descend into dictatorship, whether you agree with the current head or not, right? But on the other side, you want to see, the helicopters come into play at some point. You know what I mean? I need a penis show, and it's a, it, man, it's hard, man. It really is to come to that conclusion. You know what I mean? Like, you want to see justice, you want to see shit taken care of, but yet at the same time, any power that's used by one will be used by the next. And obviously, this would
But
be Trump's last term. Who knows what's going to happen next?
but then again, is that really the case? I mean, in that case, fucking any power that's used by them, well, therefore they set the precedent. They
Right,
set they
right.
dug their own graves.
Yeah, I
Uh,
agree, and I surely don't agree with the weak ass Republicans that are like, we got to return to decorum. I'm not
right.
going that route in the least. You know what I'm saying? Decorum's out the window, man. I mean, it's definitely time to bring down the hammer, but I just don't know, how far you should go. If it should just be, all these people are the real insurrectionists and they can never hold any kind of fucking public office again, just like they're trying to do to him, because they are the officers that are spoke of in the 14th Amendment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, for real insurrection. I mean, you've watched a soft coup, and you don't want to get banned on the Jews tubes here, but we can play footage of from the WEF and shit where they speak on where they're saying across the West, we're pulling off a soft coup. We've infiltrated all these governments. You know what I mean? And it's pretty obvious because every proposal that they come out with, any cockamamie scheme, the current admin or the left as a whole roll out almost within 30 days or so. You know what I mean? You start hearing it first, it's like, that's not happening. Conspiracy theorists. Oh yeah, we are trying to ban your appliances. You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
mean, it's fucking, you know.
Nobody's coming for your stoves, you guys. You guys are tripping, man. Like it really is. You like I like to say, fucking the left will scream like, oh, they're trying to ban abortions, blah blah blah. The right will fucking scream like, oh, they're trying to take your guns. Like, oh, guess what? Both of you guys are right, because of the fact that you're just gonna sit here and fucking keep arguing. I like to liken it to like, have you ever played yourself in a game of chess? Like, you ever just sat there and just moved the pieces, like, but actually trying on both ends?
Yeah, but
I know
it's
that's what I mean. That's what I'm trying to say. All right. So just imagine that you're sitting there, playing a game of chess against yourself, right? One side is, red, one side, the other side is blue, right? Both sides have mass amounts of fans behind them cheering them on, but it's the same fucking person playing. It's the
right.
same person playing themselves, and it's like I say,
Mhm.
it's like, oh, I'm gonna move here, and then the crowd behind them cheers, and then he goes and moves to the other seat. Oh, well, you're gonna do that. Well, I'm gonna do this, and then the crowd over there cheer. That's what fucking party politics in government is become, at this point.
Yeah. I agree, and that's what Trump is facing. It's not a fucking right versus left or rich versus poor or anything like that. It's the people that want to use government to dictate your life to build on their global aspirations versus the people that just want to let you live in peace, and you know what I mean,
Yep.
have a functioning state.
Yeah. Yeah. Like we're talking about the other day at work. Yeah, I think it's really it's projection on kind of on both ends. We like to say that, oh, they're fucking just corrupt, and they're all just fucking just getting rich off of fucking defrauding the people and all this and that shit. And basically they'll turn around and say that, oh, they're just power hungry, and they just want to fucking keep different races down, and they want to divide us by race and all this and that type shit. And it really is. It's just we're projecting our worst our idea of what a bad person is onto the enemy, because that's basically what in our mind what we see. We see a bad person as somebody that's obsessed with fucking money and would sell their own fucking grandmother to fucking make a dime and shit. And basically they see the most evil is basically somebody that wants to fucking have eugenics and total control and absolute raw power. Hitler's. That's why everything to them is Hitler.
Right.
And so basically, all that we do on both sides, we just project our worst fear into the other person, and then that's how they control us. It's
Yeah.
a yeah. It's really just we think that they're just corrupt and bought and sold and all that shit, when in reality they're just obsessed with fucking power. They just want fucking eugenics. They just want to divide people by race. They are everything that that basically they say we're doing. And I'm sure a lot of the Republicans, we really are fucking, at least not us, the Republicans really are a lot of the people that they say that the Democrats are. They're probably fucking over there taking fucking overseas deals too. How many of them probably have family members on boards in fucking foreign countries and shit?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's it's Dan Crenshaw is one of the top performers out here in the stock market, bro. I mean, he outperforms the average for sure, and we know why, and that's the reason that he wouldn't vote to deal with that situation as far as Congress members being able to publicly trade. And so I mean that's just one, obviously the one example, but a pretty large one. And these guys are just complete cretins. It's it's a disease at this point. It's a virus. That's what politics has become, and they look at us like we're the virus, like you're saying, like projection, right? But of course, with the vast majority, you would hope, for the people of this nation, that you just want to be left the fuck alone, man.
all right.
You know?
Yep. And that's I guess kind of breaks down to our fundamental differences in freedom, and what the idea of freedom is. Like fucking a lot of the people on the left would think like, oh, freedom should basically be you're basically what is, I guess, your natural human right, or your natural rights as a living thing, basically. I forget where I'm going, but basically you should have freedom would basically be having a right to all the stuff that allows you to live, right? I guess we'd define it as basically freedom is let me be myself, let me fucking self-determine, and go fuck yourself. That's
Yeah, but the projection shit only works so far, right, dude? If you take any kind of notice, man. I mean, even the Republicans, like you say, like they're probably projecting as well. But at the same time, you see, at the end of the day, they're weak, fucking spineless fucks, man. You know what I'm saying? And then the opposing is that we're all orange hatlers, and the right wants extermination of anyone that doesn't believe like them. But in reality, that really is the left, dude. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like what it's pretty obvious. Like there is no equivocations there. I mean, they want you censored. They want you to starve. They, everything that they try to put in place. I don't know if you just seen recently. I think it was in the Dan Bongino show, and he played this clip, and it was one of the founders of Greenpeace, and he was basically breaking it down how the tenets that like the WEF and the left across the planet are pushing as far as the climate goes is about to set off one of the biggest starvation events in history. I mean, and this is someone that believes firmly in climate change, and obviously as a founder of Greenpeace. And
Right.
man, I mean, he went into some pretty good detail. It's only about a minute long. If you haven't heard or seen it, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I probably heard it on Bongino. If you said it was on Bongino, I probably heard it then. But yeah, I mean, we're
I
already
got the
seeing it.
clip up on my Twitter zones. So.
Yeah, I'll check it out right now, and I'll find it right now in a second. Let me go and see if I can. I don't even think I got you like normally posted and shit. Let me I know you're in my notifications, but yeah, if I can yeah, I mean, obviously we're seeing a lot of that type of stuff going down in small patches, all over the place, like with what was it, Sri Lanka, when they basically banned
That was an insurrection, dude.
right,
Speaking of Sri Lanka, man, if people
right.
want an example of what an actual insurrection looks like, push people to the point to like they're doing now. They're literally rolling out the bugs here in America. It won't be long until things are burning down.
So let me go ahead and you got your Twizzlers over here pulled up. If you guys are not already subscribed to this guy's Twitter, make sure you guys get over there, subscribe to this man's page. We're gonna be pulling it up right here in just a second. As soon as this loads up, there we go. All right. So, which video is it?
It's like I said, it's a dude talking from Greenpeace, and pretty good. I mean, you might have to scroll. I mean, you don't have to. I didn't expect you to open it or nothing, but
We're going live, bro. This is what we do. No, I'm just kidding. But
there's too many, man.
right, this guy just posts all day long. He just got banned from TikTok, man. It's going to be going wild on on X here soon. Just be ready, you guys. Make sure you guys get over there, subscribe to this guy, or follow this guy on X or Twitter, or whatever you choose to call it. I don't really care, but anyway, I don't know. We'll find it a little bit later, or go and look it up. Like I said, it's on this guy's page. But anyway, man, yeah, obviously,
I'll repost it so you can get it freshly, man.
yeah,
It's out
but
there.
yeah, I mean, obviously, a lot of the climate shit was doomed to failure.
Right.
It's if you actually think about it, it makes it really is dystopian when you actually think about it. They want to fucking reduce carbon emissions. They basically want to, reduce the amount of CO2 in the planet and shit. And that's basically what plants breathe. That's what feeds the plants. That's why plants are fucking scarce and shrinking and all that shit. I don't know. Again, I'm no climatologist. But I do remember from like 8th grade understanding the symbiotic relationship between animals and plants.
No more Brondo, dude.
All right. Yeah, we're really moving to that point.
Yeah. But if you guys want that video, there it is. It's posted at the top of the feed. Even if you don't sub, just come check it out, man. Good word.
All right. But let's see. All right, so we got the states moving to go ahead and ban Joe R. Biddens from from the 2024 election. As I mentioned, earlier, I don't really know which states in all have moved to ban Joe Biden, but I do know that Arizona is one of them. All right, let me go ahead and pull this
Texas,
up right here. Yeah, Arizona, Texas. Who else is there? It's a lot of the swing states, really. Right? They basically moved to ban Joe Biden. So, quick take on this, man. Uh, I don't think that the Democrats really give a shit. I don't. Like I said, well, actually, I really haven't said it yet, but they're clearly desperate at this point. They don't care about the consequences. The consequences to them are irrelevant in relation to what's at risk for them. For their democracy, right? Uh, so I think I think the whole basically putting on a show type thing to get Joe Biden banned. Obviously, like I say, it's good that Republicans are actually showing some gumption, showing some spine, and actually doing something. But at the same time, I don't think it's going to be as effective as really anything. I don't really think it's going to be much more of anything than headlines. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Supreme Court's going to come in and overturn it for Trump, and that's obviously going to save bad riddance as well, right? And I know, like again, Dan Bongino made a good point about why are we relying on the Supreme Court? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this shouldn't be even going to that point as far as that's concerned. Like, when is people going to actually stand the fuck up? And and again, it's almost a destruction of the system as a whole because even at the Supreme Court, you rely on there being a majority court vote, and that's exactly what happened in Colorado, right? And it was in a state. So do you uphold that? It's what I mean. It's just fucking everything up, man. Like
Right.
like you said, I don't. If there's not some kind of purge, I don't think there's any semblance of going back to quote normal.
As we've spoken about in the past, I don't think a lot of this stuff is really just wishful thinking anyway. I don't think there is a peaceful solution to any of this. I don't think that there's a way that we could walk any of this back. You know what I mean? I don't think that there's a way we could continue walking forward without walking into, as you said, basically a complete destruction of our entire system. So we're fucked.
Either
We're
way, the fucking cammies win, bro. Like, you know what I
right,
mean? Even if they're not in power, they fucked everything enough up to where that power doesn't have the same meaning, or
all right. And
it's
then either way, even if we win, it's getting to the point now where basically we're gonna have to become the enemy in order to fucking defeat the enemy. So therefore, it's what's the fucking point? Like like we're gonna become just as authoritarian as they are, afterward. And so that's so I said,
or as they say we are.
right, as they say that we are, if I can. But that's what I said. I think basically, an example needs to be made of people in power. I think Trump needs to get in there, and I think he needs to start fucking lopping off heads from the top.
You think Joe Biden's would be the perfect candidate because he's fucking almost 90? It's like he's about to die
Yes.
anyway. And you could almost put that in what's left of his fucking mushy senile head. Like, dude, you're going to save hunters, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just sacrifice yourself, man, or we're going to publish the fucking diary, bro.
Right. Yep. It's gonna come out, man. It's coming out.
Right.
Yeah, dude. Obviously, Joe Biden's probably got so much fucking blackmail on him, dude. He probably has not made a decision on his own fucking decades, dude. Like that dude is a literal fucking strings on his fucking hands puppet, dude. Like that dude is. Like I say, I don't even think that dude's wiped his own ass intentionally in decades. Like,
Yeah, he's the WEF perfect fucking presidential candidate. You know what I mean? All they
yeah,
got to do is just send ideas over, and like you said, they just pull the strings, and he wobbles over and tries to halfway read whatever the fuck on the cards and the teleprompter in front of him.
right.
And it's wraps. All he's got to do, man. Auto pen once in a while. Do him. Good.
I guess that's another kind of a I guess qualm I have when it comes to the fucking removing Joe Biden or like I said, making a show of removing Joe Biden from the ballot, because Joe Biden is probably the best opponent to go against Donald Trump, because the fact that Joe Biden cannot win, Like
Yeah, he
he
surely
cannot.
isn't going to debate or anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like he's really the best person to go against Trump. So I mean, really, and we are very, 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 very much aware of the fact that the Democrats are looking for any sort of out to basically, oh, no, sorry, Joe Biden can't run. We wish you the best, buddy. Fucking, you did great. They
Mhm.
want to fucking give him an attaboy and send him on his way. Uh, as any fucking way that they can. So really, if they might even just let this shit go through, and then they're just like, oh man, Joe Biden can't run. Oh no, right? And then they'll just finally get to throw in whoever their new person is. Yeah, like I say,
Yeah.
I want Joe Biden to run in 2024. That'd be the best fucking thing that could ever happen to Donald Trump.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks though that you're not going to see him debate, and he's definitely going to use the insurrectionist fucking as an excuse, right? Just
Mhm.
just like Scaby Hobbs did here.
Right,
He's pushing disinformations. You know what I'm saying? And that'll be the reasoning. But I mean, anyone that has eyes sees what time it is, man. And I don't mean like Trumpsicles. I mean Biden's a dead body. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? And
yep,
I mean, even Trump, like, I mean, he's getting old too, right? He's lost some steps there. I mean, you want to change, you want a younger guy, but at this moment, man, it's Trump or nothing, bro.
yep. I mean,
And with
for
DeSantis, like I do, like we said before, like he was the future, he was the chosen one. Now that he's shown this deal, just running a campaign, the fuck would you want him running your country, right?
right,
Not to mention, he's shown who he really is, man.
yeah,
With the words, with the off the cuff questions.
yep. He's another one of those people that he's doing it for power.
Yeah,
Like he's not doing it to make America a better place. He's not doing it for the people. He's not doing it for the people he's not doing it out of a point of compassion or care for the country. He's doing it for self-serving reasons. He's doing it because he wants to be the president. That's the only reason.
yeah, and I believe that some, like we've said before as well, someone put it in his head. Someone came to him like, "Yo, you should run against Trump's." Like,
Right.
I mean, what the fuck are you thinking, man? The dude
You
that put you in the position you're currently in.
right. They came to him basically like, all right, look, man, we're going to basically use every single tool within our toolbox to make sure that this man is not able to run. So you need to be waiting in the wings already. Like you need to start your campaign right now. Like
Yeah,
you need to be the viable second choice, and we're going to push that narrative too. We're going to accelerate you by basically having the mainstream media push you as being the viable option to Donald Trump, right? And so basically, he went along with it like, oh, okay, yeah,
dude, asinine, right? He still could have did that. They could have came to him, said the same thing, but just been like, but wait until we get him removed off ballots and shit, or we get him jailed, or whatever the end game is. You know what
right.
I mean? Then you come out of the woodwork like the
Fucking
fucking
white
hero.
knight and shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he would have fucking skyrocketed, son. You know what
Right.
I mean? He would have fucking came into fucking flowers at his feet, bro. And he's gonna come save Trumpsicles. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck.
I think they understand fucking propaganda and all that stuff. I just don't think that I think they understand, they're aware of the fact that they're in a new age of information. Basically, stuff like this is being able to be discussed on the social sphere and stuff, basically like Twitter and stuff. Uh, the social public square. The information is actually being able to be passed freely now without interference from the federal government, without narrative control. And they aren't aware. They don't know how to play chess. They don't know. Uh, they don't know strategy. All they know is propaganda and basically deception and fucking bribes and power. That's all that they know. That's all that they know is power. They don't know finesse. They don't know how to set things in a timeline. They don't fucking look to the future. All they look toward is fucking power. How could I gain more power? And so that's
Not enough nuance. It's just fucking, schemes and fucking slogans. You
Yep.
know what I mean?
And now at this point, it's gotten to the point of desperation. And desperation is dangerous, man. And that's one thing that we got to look forward to for the entire fucking next year. You know,
Mhm.
entire year of uneasiness.
Some comical shit though with the inner zones and him, dude. You go on some leftist pages on the Twitter zones, and they got some pretty funny fucking videos of DeSantis, bro. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, you know, it's not people that I want to be social with or
Right.
anything, but they've been making some good DeSantis content, like, you know, the affirmation thoughts and whatnot. He's on the stage with his eyes closed. I don't know what the hell he was doing. It's his Mike Pence moment, but you know, they got it out there like, I'm 5'11", people like me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude.
Hilarious, man.
Yeah. You don't want to do the whole, the enemy of my enemy type thing, but at the same time, you still got to understand your other enemies, So I mean, it's like, definitely watch the shit they're doing, especially if they're fucking talking shit about, your rivals and stuff.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, dude, fucking hilarious, man. It's like, oh, Puss in Boots. Yeah, that shit was fucking great, man.
I'm gonna have to get me a pair.
Right. Yeah, dude, that's probably one of the most blatantly fake fucking people that we've seen in recent politician history. I guess I don't
And
know. I
I'm
guess
absolutely
there's a lot.
shocked by it. I'm absolutely shocked. It was a
Yeah,
complete fucking metamorphosis. Even the way he handles the fucking questions, the press at this point is a complete 180 from fucking DeSantis 2.5 years ago in Florida, man. You know what
yeah.
I mean?
I think a lot of the pressure got to him. I truly do not believe that he was ready to. I don't think he understood what it meant to go against MAGA. Like, I don't think he truly understood what it meant to actually go up against Donald Trump, to actually
Right.
go up against the fucking ravenous MAGA base. I don't think I don't think he was ready for that fucking whirlwind. I think he looked at it and he was like, I could handle them, and then fucking he jumped in and fucking he got shredded. He's like a
Right.
fucking blender.
He
Like,
was like, I can handle them, but we were with him at the time.
right. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Immediately, I'm in over my head. I'm in over my head.
Right.
Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't
No
think he was.
recover.
Yeah, he was definitely not ready for all that shit, man.
Yeah, because you remember when he announced that he was actually polling above Trump.
Yeah.
Now he's like in fucking single digits in some polls, man.
Yep. But I think he does serve a good purpose. He's a clear example of what we're trying to move away from.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like just the fucking the plastic fucking fake people, the people that just they're, like I said, they're just in it for power. They're just in it for that title of president and to be put down in the history books or whatever.
Yeah, and
And
everything's bullshit. Everything that you thought, for instance, like military, right? Like, you know, I serve, you know, terms and yada yada, and you're thinking like, well, damn, because a lot of people on the right, you know, you hear that sentiment, like, what happened to having military, you know, ex-military for presidents and shit, dudes that have discipline and, you know, what I'm saying, so on and so forth. But in reality, he fucking never saw a battlefield. He was in a fucking office position,
right,
dude.
in a
You
fucking
know what I
courtroom
mean?
and shit.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
like, fuck, man.
yeah,
Everything.
yeah. That's the reality, man, dude. Yeah, it's. I think we're like we've mentioned before. I think we're coming into a new age of and it's a full on age of information. Where basically everything's going to be transparent because of the fact that nothing's going to be possibly capable of being hidden anymore. I mean, there, like I say, it's not. It's going to be an uphill battle. It's going to be a whole lot of fucking propaganda, deciphering. It's going to be a whole lot of fucking uh, people that probably we shouldn't have trusted. There's going to be a whole lot of masks getting removed and stuff. There's going to be a whole lot of awakening, to reality. But I think in the long run, it's going to eventually end up being something good. Either fucking the whole society as a whole is going to get smarter because of the fact that you can't be so corrupt so easily anymore. Like I said, you have to have some tact and some strategy with your corruption, or we're just going to become a transparent society. And
Yeah, what sucks, right? Age of information, right? I mean, we should be getting smarter, but like at this point, if people don't, the people that don't realize, like, oh yeah, you're not supposed to trust the government. Like, bro, I don't, I don't know, man. You almost got to starve those people half to death before they fucking realize it.
right. Like
And,
Bongino says all the time, man, is it bad enough yet? I
right.
don't think it is, but it's getting bad enough. It's getting, it's like we said, dude, the reaction to the Colorado basically moving to get Trump removed off the ballot, even on the Democrat side, is negative, dude. Like they're like starting to realize, that it's finally starting to click in their head that indicting Trump isn't going to make him less popular. Basically, you're not going to scare Trump out of running. Uh, you're not going to basically be able to move the MAGA base to another candidate just because they have an R next to their name. They're finally starting to come to terms with all this shit, and so basically, this extra step in, like I say, it's a full on step of desperation. Which is obviously it shows that we're winning, but at the same time, it's a full on step of desperation by the most powerful fucking government in the world. So
Yeah.
that's it's pretty scary, notion.
Yeah, at this point though, it's from like I was saying earlier, it's almost hard to know who is the real most powerful government in the world at this point, because it's almost like the WEF is the whole Davos gang is a government onto themselves. Like I said,
Right.
I mean they're fucking weird cockamamie shit is being rolled out everywhere, man. I
I
mean it's
think
being
that
fought against too. Go ahead.
I think they're just like leeches on foreign governments. I don't think there's so much an organization. Like I don't think they have enforcement like to the beyond personal protection, like private protection of their compounds and all that type shit. But I don't think they have any sort of anything other than just tentacles all over the world. I think they're just a fucking giant demonic fucking plague on the planet.
Me
And
too. I mean, they don't have a standing army, obviously. Like I agree,
right,
but you
right.
see, like wherever they gather, that local
Yeah.
government there sends the military to come guard them and shit, man. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like they have their own while they're there. You know what
That's
I'm
what I
saying?
said. They're not an entity, unto themselves. And I guess they are an entity, but they're not like an actual body. They're just basically this entity that just has its fucking demonic tentacle in every single government around the world. So
You
it's
look at it like like an FBI unit or something. You know what I'm saying? Like a federal like you know what I'm saying? Like a federal agency almost that has agents. You know what I
right.
mean? That
Yep.
do foreign fucking missions or what have you, man. And it's wow, man. It
Yeah.
really is crazy when when you actually get down to it, and then especially when you look at like the UN Charter and whatnot. And again, this shit will get you banned off fucking the inner zones on quite a few sites. But I mean, you can look up the UN Charter. That is public knowledge, man. And everything that we tell you, like as far as like replacement migration, as far as them trying to control you from eating meat and controlling your purchases and whatnot, it's all there in their shit on paper. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you're still called conspiracies,
All
but
right.
it's rolling out everything in there. The Green New Deal, we laughed at it because it had cow farts in it. It was almost like a dumbed down version of it. You know what I mean? They went too far with the looking at Americans like Riri's. So they put some stuff in there they probably shouldn't have. That was red flags. But ultimately, since Biden's took fucking control, it's been rolled out ad nauseum. Or at least they've signed orders for it to be in very short order.
Do you think there's a do you think there's a good proportion of the population that understands and even believes conspiracy theories, but choose to live in ignorance?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes, I
I
do. Yeah,
think
for
so too,
sure.
man. I think a lot of them are getting pretty pissed. They'd be like, "I've known, motherfucker. I've learned to fucking cope, and I've made my fucking nest in this corrupt fucking world."
Right. Yep,
But
but
yeah,
it's almost like different wings of the same state, man. It's like the WEF hands the orders to the UN, dude. The UN fucking hands it out to their, you know, group of countries, and then then the third world countries, they just run wild and do whatever the fuck they want. You know what I mean? Because their resources are being sucked off. There ain't shit they can do, or what have you. And
it's the fucking the global hierarchy, man. It's the tower.
right,
It's the only thing is it's it's been there. Just now it's coming to to prevalence. I mean, not to get all biblical and all that type of stuff, but like it says, he's going to be allowed to reign over the world for however amount of time. Like I said, I'm not that versed in it, so I can't quote the amount of time he's going to be able to reign over the world and shit. But I think they're basically describing this type of situation, where basically the entire world comes, under the control of one overruling, form of government, and basically it's going to be, allowed to rule over mankind for X amount of time, until I don't know. Like I said, maybe we're already in that stage. Maybe we're at the end of that stage. Maybe we're at the stage where finally, the small fucking amount of people that are actually aware are going to rise up. The 3% that still remember, are gonna rise again. 1776 will rise again. Like maybe we're at that stage, but like I say, I don't know. Like it's obviously not bad enough yet. So I mean, it's we obviously haven't reached the end. If this is the actual fucking demon, the great fucking battle or whatever, type of shit.
Yeah, I think it's gonna get much more wild before it gets better, man, for sure. I think the next year is gonna be we're gonna see some unprecedented shit, and there's gonna be a lot of mostly peaceful and of course extremesy fucking protests and gatherings.
Fuck yeah. Oh yes, hold on to those, man. We're saving those. Savor the 2024 predictions. I'm purposely walking around some shit like, when I give my answers. I want to try and like whoa with fucking my 2024 predictions, but they're pretty just broad. I guess it's nothing too specific, but yeah, fucking definitely going to be some wild shit, man. So one thing we got coming out in the early parts of 2024, it's a giant Epstein nothing burger.
Right.
We got a
Right.
great big distraction. We got a great big, something that we're all going to be able to fucking rabble and make lots of videos and content about, but ultimately is going to lead to nothing and is ultimately going to give us nothing.
Yeah, it's a distraction from the treason.
Yep. Yeah,
Real
but
shit.
so basically, I don't really know the whole thing. I guess it's over a lawsuit or something like that, and basically a judge has
It's
ordered.
like a FOIA. I believe it's a FOIA, and they granted it. And but of course, it's still going to be redacted. I think there's like 200 and some names, like
Mm,
a lower
oh,
200, but they're going to
basically,
release like 150 of them. And it's
I was
supposed
at
to be
$177.
like recruiters and handlers or some shit. It's not,
Right.
it's not going to be
We
like
redacted 200 names of consequence. Like,
right,
what's
right.
the fucking point then? The fuck do we want that for, dude? If I forgot which document it was, but they said that they were like releasing some document. Like I think it might have been this year. Yeah, they released a document. It was literally like a fucking black sheet with like 3 words that weren't fucking redacted out. Like, uh, like I said, yeah, I don't remember exactly what it was, but yeah, I remember that shit happened this last year. Like they're like, "Don't worry, we're gonna release the document," and it's like a page with like 3 words that you can see. Like there you guys go. It's been redacted a little. Like
And
no,
there's going to be much more of those schemes, right? I mean, you see Mike Johnson, dude's already sold out, bro. It's like the January 6th shit. Well, we got to blur fucking faces. Like,
right,
you're blurring out the fucking feds and the narcs and shit, man. You know
right,
what I'm saying? Like, dude, it's, and then obviously continued the funding for illegal spying on Americans with the FBI. It's it's fuck. I don't even know. I don't even know where to go at this point as far as what could you do, right? I mean, obviously Trump can't replace anybody in Congress or nothing. That's supposed to be up to the people, but he can get rid of the legal aspect. How would you rectify it, man?
with the with
With the
fucking
whole shit, like I mean, like you're saying, like the redaction, the blurring of faces, you know what I mean?
uh,
Everything is it's like here it is, but it's still hidden. The Epstein list, like here's some people that actually, mean nothing to anyone, or half of them are already dead, or whatever the case is going to be. But
right. Like I say, I think we're going to come to a point where we're going to fucking snap. Like the nation's gonna fucking actually snap, and I think we fuck it, dude. I think fucking the archives might get released. All the fucking America's secrets. Just fuck it. Here you guys go. You want the fucking truth? There's the fucking truth. Like I say, it's not gonna come after. Uh, I mean, it's not going to come, but after some hard fucking times, some really fucking hard times. But I think that might be what we're moving towards. And then just moving forward, unless it has to do with the actual defense of our nation, I think everything should be fucking completely transparent and available to the people. You know,
Yeah, they act like you're 12, but yet they're not capable of doing shit but ruining things, man. You know
right,
what I'm saying? I mean, at this point, even like people like in Congress that are corrupt, what have you, dude. How far do you let it go? You got family. You know what I'm saying? Like you're rich, you made your shit. Like let's right the ship a little bit. You know
right,
what I mean? Like,
yep. I think that's where we need to just. I think that's just going to be on a fucking spiritual level, dude. Like I think just people need to again, the people that we're talking about, the fucking Pelosi's and whatnots and all those people, they have no soul left to recover. But moving forward, I just think we need to teach the next generation to understand, fucking I don't know, to care about the people that you love, and fucking spend time with them. Fucking how much money are you going to be able to spend? When once you've reached the fucking top of the fucking mountain. I don't know, just I think just we need to have a nation that gets back to being one nation under God, indivisible type thing. And I think that's basically where we've been completely led astray. And I think that's like I say, the loss of morality that we have in this country is, like I say, fucking Sodom and Gomorrah type shit, dude. Like real type, you know, fucking deplorable shit. It's fucking real decadence here. And
yeah.
I think that's just bound to fucking crash.
Yeah, and that's in I know it's leftist fucking xenophobe speech, but you let yourself be completely polluted as far as foreign aspects and stuff, right? There's no common fucking beliefs and, like you said, moral system, and then it's bombarded by culture that has nothing to do with yours or is antithetical to, and it becomes an issue. And at first, people think you're being a ninny, like you think back to like the early 90s with the rap situation, like we got to ban this, we got to put this explicit labels on it. And at the time everyone's like, these people are assholes, prudent, you know what I mean? But in reality, those things really do corrupt children, man. You know what I'm saying? And then that generation has kids and raises another generations of shitbags, and it's so on and so forth. And that's where we're at this point, man. And so it definitely takes a whole turnaround. And and especially, like, I know where I was as a young guy, to think I damn sure wouldn't be saying this right now. Even like video games, for instance. I mean, everyone's happy, like the new Grand Theft's coming out. You know what I mean? That's probably one of the fucking worst games you could ever have your children play.
Right.
And again, hypocritical. And but I was a different mindset. I let my son play that shit, but at the same time, I'm old enough now, and he's old enough to where I see the repercussions, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah. I remember fucking playing that shit when I was like, like 11, 12. That was around the time that I was in like middle school, when all the Grand Theft Auto 3s came out, and, the actual, real world type looking shit.
But,
Yeah. When all the controversy was going around, like, yeah, that was part of my generation, man. And so, I mean, yeah, like, I definitely see the outcome of it. Of course, like I say, having lived a you know non-conventional lifestyle most of the majority of my adult life, like I said, I could definitely see where a lot of the influence on my you know younger self might have well, not might have, but definitely probably ended up leading to that result.
in
But
the
at the same
meantime,
oh,
uh,
I was just gonna bring it back, but at the same time, that also brings me confliction with the fact that, well, if I had not gone through all that type of stuff, if I had been yeah, I guess saved from that type of stuff, or shielded from that type of stuff, would I be the person that I am today, or would I just be a person that's just content with waiting for the new Taylor Swift album to drop. Not paying around.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah, obviously not that. I just mean as a general idea to basically just show the the normal fucking person, the normal brain dead just non-playable character in America. Like where if I hadn't actually gone through some type of stuff, if I hadn't actually been through the actual judicial system, would I have not would I have started looking at the state in the same way that I do now? Or like I
I,
say,
for me personally, I've looked at a wider scale. It's anecdotal, and dude, I mean, we're talking about we've let ourselves devolve to the point to where they're putting homosexual, pornographic, fucking materials into elementary schools
oh
and
yeah,
shit, and calling you a bigot because you don't want your children to see it. You know what I'm saying? And so while it's and at that same side, family oriented and wholesome media and entertainment is considered like you're a fascist, bro. You know
I
what I mean?
I, I think a lot of the issue with that though is government protection of that type of stuff. Like obviously if we were able to fucking form a mob and basically go to these fucking purple haired fucking teachers and rainbow earrings and shit, with the penis tucked between their legs, trying to teach our children about their body parts and their feelings and stuff. I think if we were able to form mobs and run these people out of town like the good old days, then I think that'd be okay. Or
Right.
even just to the point where if we're able to actually ridicule that shit on a societal scale and not, be canceled or be deplatformed or have your entire life destroyed because you pointed out the truth, I think, like I say, if we just get to of course, like I say, it's going to take society basically breaking, having a giant breaking point, and I think we're coming to that, with the whole wokeness. I think woke is basically left's fucking final poison. I think it's the their final fucking poison in terms of being the cultural beacons in society, at least toward the youth.
That's like we were talking about earlier, about, Trump, if, would he want to come in and, be a fascist, like, start fucking jailing all these people, right? I'd rather see it on a local scale like that.
Yeah,
Much rather. Like, you know what I mean? The parents rise up and run, these tranny principals and teachers and physically the fuck out of the building. You know what I mean? Like, don't come back here and call the police. Dude. There's going to be 70 of us standing here.
right.
And they're going to have to murder all of us on fucking live stream. You
Yep.
know what I mean? Like, for real. And at that same token, we also need to fucking realize it's at that point to where, it's you got to stand up like that for your fucking children's future, man. You know what I mean? And looking out for the country's future obviously is going to guarantee your children a better future, man.
Yep. Forget who the quote's from, but those, I love those who plant seeds for trees that they know they'll never sit under type stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, man, you want to talk about who? Jack Smith? Who the fuck is that? Actually, yeah. Well, we'll go ahead and skip over that. It's just the press release from them trying to like I say the show thing to remove Joe Biden from the ballot. Let me go ahead and pull up this article real quick. All right, Jack Smith lacks standing to file in the Supreme Court because he is only a private citizen. Go ahead and show this tab instead.
The amicus was by what was it? Reagan's AG, right?
Yep. Yeah. If I can see, private citizen Jack Smith lacks standing to petition the Supreme Court for a writ of cert before judge in the United States v. Trump for the same reason I do. Jack Smith is, in the eyes of the Supreme Court, a private citizen, not an officer of the United States. Standing issues need not be raised by the parties to a case, nor can they be waived. The Supreme Court justices must address them sua ponte. See, the Supreme Court in the United States v. Nixon overlooked Leo Jaworski's lack of standing because if one consults the briefs in the case, one will find that no party ever raised the issue. Right. So basically, like we're saying, they just said it on the fucking media that, oh, Merrick Garland appoints Jack Smith as special counsel, and basically everyone's like, yeah, okay. Nobody asked who the fuck Jack Smith is. Nobody asked, has he been appointed? How can you just who gave Merrick Garland this power to basically just appoint? Nobody looked into whether or not Merrick Garland could actually even do that. They just said, yeah, all right, go ahead, and started running the trial. But so the court curiously assumed Jarkowski was legally appointed without ever examining the issue raised by me for Attorney General Ed Messy and Professor Gary Lawson. We discussed this issue at length in Stephen G. Calabresi and Gary Dame Law. Gary, sorry, I'm all fucked up. Stephen G. Calabresi and Gary Lawson, why Robert Mueller's appointment as special counsel was unlawful. 95 Dame Law Review 87. Okay, there's a whole bunch of legal stuff. See, the DC Circuit and the district courts have declined to readdress the issue because of erroneous proceedings in the DC Circuit, which does not bind the Supreme Court and which the standing issue was never raised. A more recent D.C. Circuit and District Court affirmed the legality of Robert Mueller's appointment without the sustained response to our agreement that none of the statutes cited by the Justice Department in support of the legality of Robert Mueller's appointment. Jack Smith's case is a new case. So standing issues never go away, but may be raised at any point in any litigation. The fact of the matter is that everything Jack Smith has done as special counsel since his appointment on November 18th, 2022 has been unconstitutional and is null and void. Anyone now in jail or subject to a plea bargain with Jack Smith can ask to be released because Jack Smith is, in truth, a private citizen. The judge in the Florida District Court classified documents case is under the jurisdiction of the 11th Circuit and is not bound by D.C. Circuit precedent. Any litigant in a case before her can argue that Jack Smith is not a lawfully appointed officer of the United States. Yeah, that's the end of the article. Pretty good shit. Sorry, I kind of butchered it up a little bit. I'm feeling a little bit blazed there, but yeah, pretty good shit. So basically, it's like you said from I don't know if there's an opinion. Yeah, it's basically an opinion, right?
Massey amicus, yeah.
Yeah,
But I mean, it's a legal opinion. I mean, this
right.
is an ex-AG. So, I mean, This isn't anyone to balk at. This is someone that knows the law and basically calling Merrick Garland a fucking moron. You know what I mean? He's not even necessarily attacking Jack Smith. He's basically saying Merrick Garland is unconstitutional in his actions and is moronic as fuck. You know what I mean? He's basically citing statutes, Merrick Garland, for the appointment that this guy argues is, completely asinine, and that it can't be used in that fashion. That he's basically changing the definition of wording in, what is plainly printed and already has legal precedent. And I think I sent you the PDF, and it has, it quotes a whole bunch of different legal precedent, that's been set previously. So. Again, it's not anything that's just like, oh, this is just, someone's fucking opinion in the New York fucking Post. Like, no, this is real deal.
I just mean is in the fact that
no, not you. I mean for people watching.
Right.
You know what I mean, like.
Yeah, I was basically referring into the sense as basically, this just came out and nothing has actually, come of it or been filed about it, right?
Right. Yeah, right. I mean, obviously he isn't anybody that can do anything about it. You know what I'm saying? He has no power or anything. So, but hopefully, this just puts a little ring in the ear of people that can, you know what I mean, as far as federal judges and whatnot, or at least a little bit of wisdom. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. If I can, like I said, dude, it's looking like we're on the winning end. Looks like we're at least culturally, at least I guess legally too. In this sense, to be honest, we were always on the winning side of the legal field because of the fact that Trump didn't fucking do anything wrong. There was no insurrection. There is no legal standing to be able to bar Trump from any sort of from running in 2024. And basically the fact that they are arguing that they believe that they can, and doing so is to save democracy, is completely ridiculous. There's no way that, if this were to go down, in our, law books, in history, what our, great grandkids think, when they're actually, reading over this, case precedent that's been set, back, just trying to ban Trump, it's gonna basically prove that either, we threw out the entire fucking constitution over one man, for no reason other than the fact that, our government was corrupt and wanted to hold on to power, or, uh,
People not wanting to face repercussions of their actions.
right. Yeah. Or, I don't know there, or it's just going to move forward in that same shadow, that actually just kind of occurred to me, cause when we look back and think about like, the fucking, 1913, emergency fucking wartime tax fucking thing, like temporary, like we look back on just about everything since the fucking founding of the Constitution and like fucking scratch our heads, like, how did we allow that to happen? So, I mean, yeah, to be honest, it may just be this, the thing going forward. But I do also think that we are heading towards some sort of a breaking point, at least societally here in America, especially with everything that Joe Biden's doing at the border, where we're this nation is a perfect powder keg to blow at any moment,
I think the one thing Trump could do to assert fucking our country's sovereignty and take care of a lot of debt and interest shit is go to war, man. As far as fucking the Federal Reserve,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? No more Federal Reserve, dude. Fuck you. Like you were just saying, 1913. How did we get to this? Yada yada. Right? It's right there, bro. I mean, we have founders, the story. Victors write history. I know it could be folklore, but the point is we were told that founders on their deathbeds, right? I mean, spoke of beheading the snake, bro. I mean, and they were speaking on the federal bank. And you see, the value of our currency has dropped. Now, just think if you had that 92% buying power, the shit that's gone on here in recent years wouldn't even affect. I mean, that sucks because Joe Biden would still look good. He'd still have an approval record if that was the case. But, you'd be able to afford, to live better as far as everybody. I mean, it would be a better economy, a better overall country,
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Nope.
in
Like I
countries
said,
that hate us, that hold debt, dude, like a China, fuck you. You know what I
right.
mean? You ain't paying shit, son.
Right. Fuck right off. Come and take it.
Yeah. Don't
That's
worry. We've
the
already
old
cut off
American
Ukraine's.
slogan.
Yeah.
Yep.
We've already cut off Ukraine's. We've already cut off Palestine's and fucking gender studies in Afghanistan. We can pour our resources to, smacking you around if that's what you really need right now, Bobby.
Right. Do you think there'd be any sort of a way that we'd be able to even like kind of walk our government back to the point of, pre 1913, or do you think that'd have to come with an actual break and just basically like, all right, fuck it, we're lopping it off at this point. Anything that happened before this point, other than X, Y, Z or whatever, done.
I mean, I think that the powers that be would put up a tussle for sure. I mean, I think it would there would be some problems, but
Well, that's what I mean. I mean, at like post
right,
collapse.
but I'm saying, I mean, post collapse, I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
You know what
That's
I'm
I mean
saying?
that's what I mean. Like,
But as of right now, I mean, it's damn near post collapse. I mean, we lost
right.
90% of the buying power. So, I mean, you know what I mean? It's damn near there. But the only way to do that is just to fire up the treasury, man. And I mean, just like the moon landing fucking shit, right? We've lost the technology. I don't even know if our fucking treasury is able to just fire up some printers at this point. But, you need greenbacks. You know what I mean? Shit fucking backed by tangible fucking goods.
Yeah.
And I'm not necessarily saying the gold standard, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you can go a different route, what have you, but, there's got to be something else as far as that's concerned. And since we've been removed from tangible goods, it's been nothing but a downward spiral across the board. And then also you get the foreign influence, man, because you have to cut deals with foreign countries and all this kind of shit. I mean, because like it's like the petrodollar. That's why we have OPEC, and you know what I mean. Before that time, it wasn't like we were letting those kind of people pour in our country, and now you have thousands of people strong protesting for Palestine in fucking the middle of the country, like
yeah. It's actually come to some wild times, man.
yeah.
Yep. That's why, like I said, you know, I mean, Trump's great and all, but dude, like, how much can he actually, fix?
Right?
Like
No,
I
no
said,
one man can save shit, right?
right?
But if he can cut out a lot of the fucking bullshit, like all the bureaucrats, the fucking appointees, man,
Yeah,
and that's why they keep trying to. The Congress is hurrying past all these different little bills that you don't hear about. That's solidifying them. That's trying to make it harder to fire bureaucrats, man. And that's what really fucked Trump. Besides the poor choice as far as who he surrounded himself with, it was also who he was forced to surround himself with. And there's a lot of holdovers from the Obama's government and shit. You know what I mean?
freaking shit, I can't find it right now.
You know what I was talking about?
Uh, I was looking for, I forgot what it was. I forgot who it was. Somebody was talking about I don't know, some sort of like protocol F or some shit like that. Like, I don't know, something that Trump, I guess, put in place, right before his last executive order or some shit like that. That he put in place that basically makes it easier for him to be able to fire people. People that are unelected, basically, as people that are appointees. Yeah, I don't remember exactly what it's called. I'll probably, if anybody of you guys knows what I'm talking about, drop
I
it in the
actually do.
comments.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't know the name of the bill either, right? But
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about. But as far as that's concerned, I mean, you've seen they've tried to undo everything that the dude did while he was in office, and just like you got like the Shapiros out here, like Pence did not have the power to not certify 2020. He did.
right,
I mean, when Trump left office, the Congress changed that law. You know what I'm saying? To make it basically now your true ceremonial position, besides the deciding factor in a Senate tie. You know what I mean? And they changed it. I mean, again, I don't know the name off the top of my head, but
but yeah, but yeah. If I can, did you read any of the decision from the Colorado courts?
yeah, and it's purely
Dude,
biased shit.
like, I'll be honest, I'd classify that as hate speech. I'd classify that entire fucking opinion, I'd call it an opinion rather than a decision. That
Yeah,
basically sounded like a fucking a full on replay of the January 6th committee. You just might as well have been written by Liz Cheney herself. Um, but yeah,
yeah.
dude, yeah, that shit was completely fucking ridiculous, man. Fucking hilarious.
You wish people would recognize, dude, especially after even the limited release Mike Johnson has done with the January 6th footage. You still have leftists out here like you guys cherry picked, people peacefully walking in the building. Like no, dude. Like the left literally cherry picked 12 hours out of hundreds and played it across all media in clips for fucking years. You know what I mean? And now
Yep.
there's hundreds of hours released, and you still think that that's what happened. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? And even
Right.
if you hate Elon's, everybody's fascisms or whatever, get on the X because you can watch that shit pretty easily, pretty widely across the platform, man.
I think a lot of the public sentiment too, like even before or I mean not before, but basically a little bit before, but mostly after the January 6th footage got fully released. Uh, I think people stopped caring. I think people didn't think I think the majority of people obviously don't believe it was an insurrection. I think they think it was just a riot or a protest that got out of hand.
Mostly
Um,
peaceful.
yeah, and then of course with all the sentences being handed down for the right, mostly peaceful, but all the with all the sentences being handed down and stuff, being so ridiculous, I think a lot of people are starting to, like I said, either just try and put it behind them or try and look away from it or something, or uh, I think a lot of people are just over it. Like I don't think people, I think a lot of people were buying the whole January 6th committee back when it was going on because it was still kind of fresh in everybody's minds and all that shit, and it was still being played constantly. Like you said, that same 12 hours, the hand selected videos of the riot parts and the just specific violent parts and all that type stuff. And yeah, I just think people, now that they see what the reality of it was, I think a lot of the people on the left are still going to be like, oh, you're like, Trump was trying to overthrow the government and all that type of shit. But I think the overwhelming majority of people don't care about January 6th anymore. Like, they don't view it as an insurrection. They don't view it as an attempted coup. They view it as a bunch of fucking, rednecks that got out of fucking hand uh, the Capitol building.
Unfortunately, though, there's a lot of the left that still cares about it, man, because that's the whole legal precedent that they're trying to fuck them on.
I
You
think
know
the
what I
only
mean?
reason they still care is because it's the only leg they have to stand on.
Right, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
because the document shit, if anything, that's going to be a slap on the wrist. It should be tossed the fuck out because it's an obvious fucking. I don't I don't want to call it a double standard. It's the standard. It's Democrats
Right.
get away with shit. And Trump doesn't. But
Everybody fucking was doing it. He
yeah,
fucking Biden did
exactly.
it. Even Mike Pence's ass fucking had
Yeah,
documents at his house, dude. Like,
yeah.
yeah, there's no way that they could fucking that thing's pretty much as good as gone.
Yeah, and then and then what's fucked up about it is I'm sure it probably could have already been thrown out, but the state refuses to divulge a lot of the shit that they took. So the court can't judge whether this guy actually fucking even had what would be considered real classified information that some fucking legalese needs to happen over. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really, I mean, who knows what the fuck they took, and they're saying, well, these were top secret documents he had, because then I mean, it's, if you can't see, I'm like, dude, you're supposed to take these fools' word, and this is one of the most corrupt fucking entities in the country. I mean, from the Gretchen Whitmer shit to Ruby Ridge to fucking, I mean, you can just keep going. You know what I mean? Fucking
Yeah.
Waco, whatever the case, man.
Yeah. So I said, I think that's one of the first heads that needs to roll. I think a lot of the, these 3-letter organizations that have, power of force, to work in darkness and fucking, use force. I think those are a lot of the ones that need to be gotten rid of first, or at
And
least shrunken down to a minuscule, place where it's literally you don't have enough time to focus on anything other than possible threats to the country.
yeah, and dude, if Trump is what he portrays himself as, like a true American lover of this country and willing to sacrifice himself and his fortune to at least try to save it, right? That would be one of the things that he could do, dude. Finish fucking JFK's war on the secret society that fucking has its fingers in everything, man. I mean,
Yep.
like I said, cut the head off, shatter the FBI and the CIA. I mean, not everybody's corrupt, right? And there's going to be some agents that are great, that have high commendations or what have you. Move them to different law enforcement agencies, and they can do their shit. And executive order fucking FISA the fuck out. Seriously. I mean, I don't even care. Normally, I'm not a fan of executive fiat, but Congress isn't going to do it. Even if it only gets rid of it for the 4 years he's in, fucking executive order, all that shit the fuck out, dude. No more secret courts and shit, bro.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Shit, we shall see, man. I honestly think that Trump Trump is willing to go down a martyr. I think Trump wants to, fucking, yeah. I think, like I
That'd be
said, I
the
think
way.
Trump's
He'd go down as fucking the hero, bro, if he did
right.
that shit. They might kill him as soon as he leaves office, but he's fucking ancient anyway. You know
Yep.
what I mean? And if you're gonna if you're gonna give yourself for your country, what not a better time to do it that you've lived fucking, 9 decades as a millionaire. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Well, shit, you ready to get into some of these 2024 predictions, man?
Sure.
You got anything written down, or you got anything fresh on the mind?
Fresh on the mind.
Top of mind?
Top of mind, of course, for 2024 is it's going to get wild, man. I think that Trump at this point politically is like an unstoppable fucking force, right? And these people are throwing everything that they can at him. We've discussed it ad nauseum, and it's not working. And the only next thing to do is to call out the troops. And I just don't know why there isn't uprisings. There might,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? And
Yep.
I'm
Someone's
sure.
gonna have to put a bullet in this man.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Yep.
I'm sure they're going to either step up the rhetoric or literally, their favorite fucking term, they're going to be dog whistling to get, Antifas and BLMs and the Palestinians and what have you going on, right? So you're going to see a lot of, like we're saying, fiery fucking but peaceful protests, and you know, at this point, I think a lot of us have had enough, and I know, I think it's time to, do the opposites, dude. If
Right.
Antifa's anti-fascist, dude, or anti-commies, you know what I mean,
Right.
or
Fucking
the
anti-com.
Filibante, dude, fucking anti-revolutionaries, bro.
Right.
Um, really, and I think I think you're going to see a lot more of that. I really do. Whether that's bad or good, fuck. We're already labeled as domestic terrorists anyway. You also know that these people, like we were just speaking on, the alphabet soup there, are facing repercussions because those are people that can be fucking fired. And they see the political writing on the wall, so you're going to see more of their desperation as well. You're also seeing the step up across the West on Elon Musk, which is obviously the public square. So, they're going to be trying their hardest to shut speech down, of course. Also, you have the current fucking election variant being rolled out, white lungs and fucking lightning pneumonia or what the fuck ever, right? And so, it's going to be pushed at all sides on you. And, you know, I see some serious political shifts. You have a lot of people in the legislature that see the writing on the wall too, announcing they're resigning or not running for reelection, so on and so forth. I see a big change coming, whether negative or positive. We don't know. It's like you said, it's 11 months away. So, a lot can happen between now and then. There could be, deaths. I mean, Trump could drop dead. You know what I mean? Like I said, again, he's an old guy.
Right.
So, we don't know where we're going, but I
You
see
think
a lot of upheaval.
you think a lot of the people that are resigning and stuff right now are people that basically know they see what's coming on the tides. They see Trump coming down the pipe, and basically they want to get out of Dodge before the
Yeah,
microscope
yeah, that's
starts
what I
getting
was
put on
saying.
everybody.
Yeah, before the repercussions are dulled, man. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because like shit's gonna come out. Like I'm sure Trump's gonna come in and sign a lot of executive orders. He's gonna want to release information, especially to clear his own name. For his kids and grandkids' sake. I'm sure. And to protect their lifestyles as far as what he planned on leaving them. What's his legacy to his children. And it's like I said, I see a lot of upheaval, man. But pushback not only domestically but internationally. The UN is also going after free speech in America by attacking Elon Musk. And then you also see the WEF and the WHO pushing for control of speech on the inner zones, of course, because it's just misinformations, but in reality, they're helping the system fight the populist wave that's crashing across the fucking West, man. And even in Ireland, right? You see like the Conor McGregor coming out. I'm going to run for president to stop the situation. I mean, dude, it's coming to a head.
Yeah. Fucking so. I got a couple of bullet points for my predictions. First one is actually not too much of a new prediction. It's one that I've been actually saying for the last probably year and a half, pretty much since the show started. Uh, Joe Biden's not going to run 2024. He's not going to be the the opponent of Donald Trump in 2024. Um, Again, a whole number of things could happen. Like I said, the Democrats clearly want this guy gone. I think they do not want Joe Biden to run. Any sort of a polling metric out there is basically showing that Joe Biden can't win against Donald Trump, but at the same time they're also showing that nobody else is faring any better against Donald Trump or at that rate any better than Joe Biden. So obviously it's going to be Trump, but I don't think that they're going to allow Joe Biden to run. I think they're going to try and find some sort of out. I think they're going to try and get yeah. Now this is one that I'm not too sure about. I mean, you want to say Gavin because obviously they had him fucking debate DeSantis for whatever reason, but I don't know. He's unpopular, in the polls against Trump. Like I say, he's polling even worse than Biden. So you don't really know about how that's going to go. But at the same time, they haven't really started fluffing him up yet or anything like that. So they might try to get that out of the way, early on in the year. I think they're going to try and get Joe Biden out of the race as early as possible in this year, so that way they could get somebody new in there. And I think they're going to try and basically get him in some whole shining fucking savior to the fucking migrants and shit. So therefore they're probably going to try and get someone like Gavin, or I don't know who else. But another one I got, we're going to get into a foreign conflict. I think we're going to get into, we're definitely going to have some sort of fucking, we're already having some
boots on the ground. That's what you're saying.
I think we're probably going to have some sort of boots on the ground in the Middle East. Even if it's just fucking a small conflict is basically something to get the people like, oh no, get the people worried, or get the people some sort of a rallying behind America, or rallying behind the current establishment or something. I think they're going to try and get us into some sort of a conflict, and I think that we are going to put some sort of boots on the ground in a foreign land in 2024 before the election, maybe even after the election. I don't know, but most likely before the election. Let's see. I think there's going to be some sort of attack by one of the fucking 8 million people that has arrived here recently. Some I don't know, that one's a bit of a stretch. Maybe not some sort of actual attack, but I think there's going to be a lot of individual stuff. Maybe like a murder here, murder there, murder here, murder there. But they're going to obviously try and they're going to paint it in whatever light that they can to basically say a person killed somebody else at this place. They're going to be vague about it like they always are. And then we're going to basically have to uncover, like, the dude, he was here illegally. He got here from Joe Biden's fucking, I think there's going to be a couple of those.
He was on the watch list.
Right. Yeah. I think there's definitely going to be, at least one of those in 2024. I got one last big one, but I'll go with some of the small ones. Right. So I think there's going to be in culture a slight uptick in offensive media, like I think a lot of the people going to see the Dave Chappelle's type stuff, the fucking basically all the people that are anti woke, that are actually starting to get traction and actually starting to get a lot of views. And I think they're going to try and bring back some sort of offensiveness. And I think a lot of it too is going to be, again, to try and get people's minds off of how horrible the fucking media is, and how controlled and fucking ESG'd and woke that they've become. Because again, that's another thing that's basically pushing against the fucking left, because the left is the people that are pushing all of this woke ideology. So I think that they're going to try and ease the brakes on the woke reeing out, and I think that they're going to try and maybe no, what, they said some offensive stuff and we're going to be okay with that. I think they're going to try and almost no, what, we're not that woke actually. We're actually not the fucking commie Nazis that you think we are.
Yeah.
And so you also got I think China might invade Taiwan. I think that might be another sort of foreign conflict that is going to I guess bring more freaking support from I guess the people on the left, towards Joe Biden's. Again, like I said, that's some far-reaching ones. Like I said, I'm not actually saying that
I don't think it's far-reaching at all. I think it's pretty spot on a lot of them, especially the China one. Apparently, Xi fucking told Biden at that meeting in San Francisco last month that he will see a united fucking China and Taiwan. And and then also something I actually forgot to put in, I probably should have wrote down, right, is the military has missed its recruitment last month by 41,000, right? And you like you just said, 8+ million, estimates around 10 have poured into the country, right? And dude, you're going to see an uptick, right, with the push to try to get these people in the military. Okay, and that's,
Yeah.
we're going to grant citizenships and all this kind of stuff. And then we also know that they're rolling out already in California. They're about to start testing their beta system in Chicago, rolling out illegal alien police officers. You know what I mean? So I think there's going to be a big uptick in that in this next year in preparation for the shit that they're going to try to pull off.
Yeah. Fucking. Yeah. Shit. Either way, man. 2024 is going to be fucking wild, but yeah, I think. Actually, I'm pretty sure. I forgot what my point was on that last one. Yeah, like I say, it's again, I'm just trying to put some more pinpoint, predictions rather than just, it could be, kind of a, vague. I wanted to actually do some actual, concrete ones. So that way, if it happens, I could be like, look, you guys, I said it, man. I said it back in December, end of December last year. I knew this shit was going to happen. I fucking called it, man. Yeah. So I want to get some of those kind of, more pinpoint ones. But yeah, I think China is going to actually, invade Taiwan. Did you see that, I don't know. It's kind of a local news, but I guess Raytheon's installing 2 fucking microwave fucking blasters here in Arizona to basically they're like anti fucking missile microwave fucking what's it? I forget what the thing's called, like direct energy weapons or whatever. But yeah, they're Raytheon's installing 2 of them here in Arizona.
Wow, it's crazy. No, I did not know that.
Right? Yeah, fucking crazy shit, man.
Right.
All right, and this is my last and probably most direct prediction for 2024. And I think there's going to be an assassination attempt on Donald J. Trump's. But I think that it is going to be taken by the media as the Republicans are exaggerating. There was actually never any threat to Donald Trump or anything like that. The guy, he was in a building, like a quarter mile away. There's probably no way that all of a sudden they're going to become fucking ballistics experts, right? All of a sudden they're going to know exactly how far a bullet can travel and at what speed and all that shit, right? But
meanwhile, AOC was murdered on J6 at a building
right,
fucking blocks away.
Fucking a 9mm, blow your lungs clean out, send them halfway to fucking China. Yeah, but yeah. So I think that, again, I don't know if it's going to be some sort of again, I don't even want to try and speculate on what might happen, but I think there's going to be some sort of assassination attempt on Donald Trump, and I think that the media is going to try and say that that's disinformation and that basically we're trying to paint Trump as a martyr, And I think it's going to come out of a sense of desperation on the left because, like I say, we're fully in that mode, and I think it's becoming clear, it's becoming real to them. Like they're like I say, I think that they actually thought all of this stuff was going to work. There's no way that this could be some fucking sort of large fucking 4D chess move that they've they just keep making move and then losing pawn and pawn after pawn. And, they're like, don't worry, I still got a fucking a rook or a bishop or whatever. Like it's like, dude, like it's not gonna work, man. And so I think
it's like check, bro.
right. You're like 3 moves away from checkmate, dude. Just give it up. And I think that they're starting to realize that. And I think somebody's gonna try and do some crazy shit. And, if it can obvious, it's not gonna end up coming to fruition. I don't think, at least, whether it does or whether it doesn't. Like I say, if it does, Trump's instantly a martyr and fucking the savior of America. And fucking we should have just listened to fucking the government's so corrupt. Trump was right all along. Or like I say, or they're gonna attempt to assassinate him, and it's gonna be fucking swept under the rug by the media and by fucking the government. We're gonna get a whole lot of fucking. I can't comment to an active investigation right now. Like, I'm sorry, I can't make any comment to that active investigation right now. Like, or we're gonna see a whole lot of that. But yeah, for my actual Biggs prediction for 2024, I think somebody's going to make an attempt on the life of one Donald J. Trump. And I think that the media is going to, make an attempt to claim it's disinformation.
Ban your accounts on TikToks for talking about it.
Right. And we're gone. but yeah, like I say, it's based off of all the evidence. Like I say, they're like I say, a couple fucking moves away from checkmate. There's no way that they thought that they're like, don't worry, you guys, we're gonna pull it off in the 11th hour. I don't think that was their plan. I don't think that they planned that far ahead. I think that, like I said, that, toward the beginning, I don't think that they were ready for the age of information. And I don't think that they truly understood, what Trump's base actually was about. But I don't think, I think that the age of information, and basically, I think Elon Musk, I think Elon Musk really, we owe a lot to Elon Musk. Dude. I think we could really thank, Elon Musk for all that he's done to basically bring light to all the government interference with, our, the 2020 election, whether,
Yeah.
and just censorship, just basically government overreach in general. I think a lot of this, it's been working in tandem, and I think it's like I say, they're fully in fucking almost in checkmate right now, and they see it. They're literally fucking on the run right now, and so yep, I think that some heinous shit was gonna go down 2024.
Dude, I don't even think people realize right there, fucking Elon. That guy's actually in a war too, just as steep as
Right.
fucking is Trump, with actually more to lose. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the only difference is he won't. He's not facing 900 years in prison or whatever drastic idiocy Trump is. You know what I mean? But
Yep.
yeah, I mean, he's attacked. He's being attacked by several governments at a time, and our own government is currently canceling fucking contracts, going after different companies. Yeah.
Do you think just a man like fucking Trump, or a man like Elon Musk, or like Alex Jones just gets pushed to the point where there's it's literally all or nothing at this point? Like I said, we already kind of talked about that about Trump, but basically I think that Trump's willing to, it's all or nothing, and I don't, he's never surrendering. And I think that he's willing to literally give everything for this country. Like I say, it's, you don't want to fall in love with politicians. You want to fall in love with results and all that. And so, again, the only type of thing that could be reaching in the back of my mind is Trump's actually the deep state, bro.
I don't. I can't think of a lot of people that would stand in the face of fucking 900 years in prison, though.
I don't think there's
Yeah,
anybody
man.
else that can, you know, like I was actually watching my video from back, like shit, back in like March or something like that, about fucking why it should not be Ron DeSantis. And basically that was one of my main points is Donald Trump is the only person that has the fucking the gusto, the fucking the money, the support, the adoration, to actually pull this off. And so as long as he, does not fucking give up, I think that, he's going to prevail. And I think that, like I said, he's the only one that's capable of doing that with, at least for fucking several more generations.
Unless they murder him out, right?
Yep. But like I say, if they murder him out, dude, he created a movement. He's gonna be fucking Papa Trump. We're gonna be fucking into the republic for which it stands, one nation under Trump, indivisible. It's gonna be the Southern schools. It's gonna be the true Q fucking uh, school choice.
Right. So, dude, good times.
Yeah. 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 If I can, anything else you want to throw in, man? That's about all we got for tonight.
Yeah, I'm good, man. Hope everybody has a fucking Merry Christmas and, love your family. Enjoy the time. About it.
And we're all gonna die next year.
Yeah, it's
Live
gonna
well,
get worse before it gets better, man.
sleep well while you can. But yeah, of course. Merry Christmas, everybody. I don't know. We'll probably do a show next week. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. Are you doing anything for New Year's?
Fuck, man. Probably not.
Right.
my lady can't drink, man.
Right. Right. In that case, we'll probably be back next week. Thank you guys for stopping by, man. We hope you guys all have a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. Swine said, man, just take care of your families. Be there for each other. Try and educate anybody that you can. you know, and yeah, like I say, do it with tact, you know. That's what we need right now in these times, you know. Basically, America is on the cusp. They just need somebody to give them that slight little nudge over the little hump, you know. Just a nice little tap, just a tap. You guys, just all right. So when you're over there, sharing gifts with the family and all this and that type of stuff, don't waste your time on your fucking liberal nephew or your liberal niece that's fucking thinking about becoming a transgender with shaved head and pink fucking hair dye. Don't waste your time on them. All right, you're just going to end up making an ass out of yourself and each other, in front of the family and shit. And like I say, come with tact. Don't waste your time on their, focus on the people that actually fucking, are open to the idea, which is a lot of America right now. But anyway, that being said, man, appreciate all you guys. Don't forget to like this video, share this video to your friends, subscribe to the channel. Let us know what you guys think in the comments. And of course, subscribe to this man's channel. Anything else you want to add before we go?
Again, Merry Christmas, everybody. Smell you later.